Hey, what's up, guys? I want to talk about The Walking Dead Season 7 premiere. I think personally that the episode was amazing, and it was, but with that being said, it was definitely a very hard episode. We lost two main players, and I won't lie, the nature of those deaths was very, very, very violent and excessive, and it did get hard to watch. But I think it was all completely necessary to drive the point home of the story. Anyways, one thing that was a little frustrating. We start with the beginning of the episode. I liked it, but it was kind of annoying because we'd been waiting to see who died. Was the fact that it was told out of chronological order. It started with after the deaths had happened, and Negan took Rick into the RV and drove him around and had him throw out the axe. Well, and we got told who died through flashbacks. Well, I did like that in retrospect, and at the moment it was still slightly frustrating because we'd been waiting like 6 months to find out who died. But that aside, I did like the way it was told out of chronological order, and I think it made the deaths more impactful. But let's keep with the hatchet for a second. I really like that writing style. I mean, Negan's an awesome villain. He really gets into the head of Rick. He's not getting through to him, so he uses this hatchet thing to basically make him his bitch. And he goes out. Rick jumps on a freaking walker, which was cool. He was hanging from it, and it was dope. But basically, essentially made him his bitch. For a second, I really thought Rick was like, oh shit, what's gonna happen to Rick? This episode really had me on the edge of my seat, and I haven't really been that really surprised or really emotionally drained as an episode since, like, the Red Wedding. Because it was really good. Anyways, but the whole Hasha thing was to get through to Rick, because Rick was still immediately thinking of retaliation after those two deaths, and that Negan hadn't got through to him. But anyways, let's talk about the deaths now. Everybody kind of predicted it. I kind of knew it would too, and kind of hoping it wasn't going to be, because I originally thought there was only going to be one death. And when it landed on Abraham, I was like, really? That's what they're going with? Guys, I like Abraham, but I didn't think it was going to be impactful enough. But regardless, the way he went out made it memorable and made it very sad. Suck my nuts. No better way to go out than that. But what was completely... The notion of Glenn dying was not something we were blind to. We knew it was gonna happen, and we knew it could happen. But Abraham dying, admit it, everybody went into a false sense of security. And then when Negan punched Daryl, or Daryl punched Negan, we were all like, oh shit, Daryl's gonna die. If you didn't think so, I'm not gonna say you're lying. Maybe you figured that was the way it was gonna happen, but I thought he was gonna kill Daryl. Then he just hit Glenn. I was like, what the fuck, dude? Like, I didn't see it coming. But the death was brutal. His eye was popping out. His brains splashed in. It was a sad way to see Glenn go, who's been on this show. I grew up on this character, to be honest. I love Glenn. It was sad to see him go in such a brutal fashion, but it will make Maggie, who is already an awesome character, to really just one of the most badass chicks on television, which I don't know about you guys, but I like badass chicks. So, I can't even imagine how she's feeling. It's like one hell of a way to see a loved one die. But anyways, after those very hard deaths, which I cried. I don't really cry, but I cried on that one. Even after those deaths, we had the whole hatchet thing, still not getting through to Rick, and then the Carl scene happens, which was super intense and beautifully done. Negan turns Rick into a little biatch. I'm telling you, he puts a sharpie mark on Carl's arm, and tries to make Rick cut off Carl's arm, which, to be honest, I think it's foreshadowing to Rick getting his hand cut off, which in the comics he got his hand cut off by the governor. So it's in the TV series, it's long overdue. But anyways, turns Rick into just a withering little biatch, and it was wow. It was a very intense scene, and the moment I was misled and thought that Rick was really going to cut his arm off. But the point of this whole episode, and why I think this violence and this kind of intensity was so necessary, was that it was to break Rick Grimes. Rick Grimes at this point had been unstoppable. We have faced many enemies since season 1, and Rick has always come out on top. He was threatened by them, but he was never really scared of them, and he always beat them. This point was to make us believe that Rick had been put into submission by Negan, that he was scared of him, and that he was basically essentially turned into his bitch right there, and that to give us the point that this is serious. Negan's no joke. Nobody is safe from Negan. Because how many situations has Glenn escaped from? I mean, ridiculous, right? The guy should have died a long time ago. But him dying at the hands of Negan shows, yeah, this guy's no joke. And as simple as that, really. So, final thoughts. I thought the season 7 premiere is among one of the best episodes of The Walking Dead. And I'm very looking forward to the rest of the season, because I think season 7 will be one of the best seasons of The Walking Dead. And The Walking Dead really just it gets way more hate than it deserves by a lot of people. And I think this season will help alleviate some of that hate, because honestly it pisses me off a little bit that this show is unnecessarily hated on. But this is a 10 out of 10 episode for sure, and I am very excited to see where this goes, and I think Negan will be one of the best villains we've ever had on TV. Peace out. I will be back with a review of season 7 episode 2.